are listening to Let's Go, the weekly anime podcast about weekly anime from Dynamite in the Brain and Secret of the Sailor Madness. So come along and hang with the Let's Go gang. It's Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
It's Niall.
Ari.
And it's me, Brian. And on this episode, we are covering some of the anime that aired the week of April the 13th to April the 19th, 2024, starting with things I didn't watch. Jellyfish, Can't Swim in the Night, episode 2. Did it have a title?
May the Fangirl.
May the Fangirl.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I had like respect for this kind of immediately, because we kind of open it and it's just like, okay, we know that like the two gals here were trying to like get their collective together and it's going to be going to sit down, and it just shows them just shooting the shit at some cafe. Like the manager stuck out type of cigarette, get her all on break. This fun. Well, of course they would have had to get a part-time job to fund some of this. So it just like doesn't like go to the whole thing. We gotta get a part-time job. We got to interview for a part-time job. The manager like sort of mocks you and that one. Say the manager is in the opening credits. You probably will like your moxie what you bring to this. But just done. We're in it. You don't need to fucking like fun spin your wheels doing that shit for ages.
Yeah, so that I don't think they even say we've gotten this part-time job to fund our artist collective. It's just like, no, it's kind of obvious from context because they're talking about like how they're going to fund things and how much microphones cost. And one's like, I've heard of these thing called patrons, and we could have a patron jar, and then the patrons will give me money. And like, wouldn't you know it? Like someone like storms up the stairs to the bar, pops in, and jams. What was it like?
There was like 100,000 in it, so that's like she just threw him like a grand.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm May. I'm a big fan of you. Oh, big fan of Eddie Mister. No, I'm a fan of you, Kano. Or should I fucking Nagano from back in the day, back when we were in the girl group? It's just like, oh, I thought I'll give you this money to fund your things like that. Yeah, well, thanks very much. So when you're going back to the girl band, it's just, well, I'm not going back to the girl band. I'm doing this thing, but I give you the money so you can go back to the girl band. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like a super weird Uber fan kind of thing where she's bought one of the 20 terribly designed bags,
limited edition tote bags
that she designed when she was back in the idol scene
so
many years ago, all those countless years ago, like fucking so long. These people are so fucking young. And anyway,
I'm already burned out and washed up.
And so your one's kind of like, it's like, oh man, I love the when you were like in the idol thing, you were the lead in the fucking thing, you were great. I like that you had that long black hair, that classic look. You need to go back to that look. Enough of this blonde, enough of this acoustic bullshit. I'm funding you for this. And your one's like, take your money and fucking get the fuck out of here. It's just like, that's not who I am anymore. You fucked up.
Immediately regrets it.
Immediately like, I should have taken our fucking money.
Oh, fuck. No, it'd be grand. It was just like, oh, we should probably get out of here. Fun said, oh, this isn't my bag. It's like, whoa, we've swapped the idea like a limited edition tote bag. You got give us because you got like an thing with like a Rachmaninoff like songbook in there and a fucking dictaphone. It's like, oh shit, we should record our conversation doing weird stuff. It's just like, oh no, it's just her fun jamming out on the piano. And it's just, say, we're looking for a composer.
And this
Maybe
is actually
she composed this.
And it was one of her things on the recorder was like a version of one of her idol songs, I think, from back in the day as a piano suite. And it's like, that's pretty fucking good actually. And I wrote that song, so Jesus, we should get onto her kind of thing. So they used her skills of having her student ID as to know where the fuck she goes to school and
track her down. Yeah. I mean, just kind of see what she's about too. She's like about to go in for a recital. It's just like, and she's been getting guff because she's funny. Why are you doing wearing that jacket to school? She's wearing a school blazer only because, of course, her jacket was in her bag. It's just like, and she was sniffing it weirdly on the train home.
I mean, like their thing was going through the bag and going like, oh, who is this person? How can we return her stuff? This is pretty good fucking music. And her thing was like, oh, I can smell her. Oh, this is good. It was on the bus, and it was just like, geez, she's that kind of fan. And it's weird.
But then you get her backstory there. She's not, would you believe, it's like a natural, like darker lady. Actually, a natural redhead. And other girls picking on her fun and saying, "Which is fun? Is that red hair for?" It's like, oh yeah, this,
If I've learned anything from anime,
kind of like
they hate it when you have other colored hair unless they don't, because everyone has other colored hair. So other than that, yeah. She was picked out for being different, and one day she happened to come across the Idol band back in the day, 2 years ago. Fucking hell. And basically one was like, "Oh, thanks so much for coming. It's a girlfriend." One's like, "Yeah, you're just a false phony." And it's just like, I mean, like, yeah, I have to do a lot of this fucking shit. Like, I don't even get on with your one over there. Like,
yeah, she's a real bitch. I hear it. But you hear it from me, all right?
she opened up as a real person to this person, and she was like, "Your hair looks fucking cool, man. Like, it's a really good look on you." And she was being herself, not the idol persona, but somehow because this person opened up to her as another human being, she got stuck into the idol persona, and that's the one she wants to see. Like, she dyed her hair black to look like her from back in the day.
Yeah, that was also kind of weird. It's just like, what did you see? Like, you see Kano like there in the modern day, got her blonde hair, and then it's just like you see her, in this flashback. It's just like, that's oh god, he's got this just copy the haircut. It's like, because she goes down the barber, it's just like, so the usual thing for you, mate? No, give me this right here, because I got the cool selfie with her. And then because it's this like little sequence, then or rather, she's about to kind of start in, and then the two of them out here are kind of very noisily kind of come in and say, "Oh shit, sorry, hey." Because she promised back in the day, like, "Hey, I'm in this band right now, but like, maybe like one day if you're like a musician yourself, maybe I'll like listen to a song that you playing." It's like, she's fine making good on that promise, and she just goes into it, and we see the whole thing. She practices so hard, fucking hitting the books and getting up on her piano skills, but also we see her like the all amongst all like the piano trophies and the certificates and the falls of that, it's just like getting like also just fitting like some like promotional scarves from the idol group, and all the
little fan
merch
with
and
the
the things
name
all
and
kind of popping up in there. It's like, it's like, this is like, my fucking like dream has come true. Like, it's all kind of happening for me. Like, and she kind of comes around and says, "Well, I wasn't going to support you like in like like the way you are now, but you came to support me like the way I am now." And I think I gotta respect that. It's like, hey, watch, she's in the fold. It's going to be composer for them, and try not to be like a real creepy weirdo.
She never ceases to have her creepy like smile,
yes,
and it's just
that
like
was good.
Much not as I was worried that the train to the end of the world was going to be like cute girls doing cute things. This is the show that's cute girls doing cute things, unfortunately. But it still has like a lot of like things to talk about, collaboration, and like obviously our former idol was a fan of the artist, and now this person was a fan of the idol. So I assume that our streamer has to be a fan of the composer. So we get a fucking circle going here or something.
Maybe something would happen there, or she's been maybe like fucking the streamer one Kiwi. First name is Kiwi. Yeah, it's probably don't worry about. But actually, if we see a little bit of a VTuber thing, she's got the superhero persona. It's like, oh, that's all the emails I got to now, all the comments you got. I'm gotta go now. My planet needs me. It's like, oh god, she's probably the one who's most like hard bitten by the story, because she's the one that kind of actively like on every night like screaming. Just like, oh god, these kids, they got no idea what's coming out of the rails of them.
I've been at this gig for 2 years, like a long fucking time in child terms.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of setting up to is that May is just like, she has this haircut, she keeps it that way, and I imagine by some point towards the end of the series, it's like, you know what? I gotta be true to myself. He's gonna like just let the red come back into it again. It's like, yes, I'm sure there's an artist, and that'll be like a nice little touch. I'm sure it'll be very heartfelt if it does happen. It's nice now, like as well. It's like, it helps just again, just like bring in the rest of the thing, and she's such a fucking like weird stalker vibe to her, but she's one of those nice stalkers, so it's all right. But it did keep up as well. Like it goes into, I mentioned like music video mode. So that like montage sequence of like her just just really kind of leaning into this over the years, and like getting all the stuff for it. That's nice as well.
Yeah, again, there's some really good direction in it again, but it still has little warning flags just popping up, and I'm just like, is that? Do I need to watch out for that? Like,
It didn't
you're
have
gonna be.
as much of a roving eye as it did the first one. Now you gotta give it that much.
It did have the artist one in bed in her short shorts, and I'm just like, let's focus in on the feet as she wiggles her toes, and I'm just like, all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
the feet stuff in the stuff in the first episode. After there was the two obvious ones, but then there was a lot of feet shots. I was like, because of the two obvious lascivious
The feet seem less
angles,
obvious. Yeah.
now
For
the
sure,
feet stuff. But then I was questioning the feet stuff. And
Mm.
so if you say the feet stuff's in the second, it was the same storyboard artist as the first one.
That's
Next
directors for you.
episode, it's somebody entirely different directing and storyboarding. So it's either
Mm.
going to get better or worse.
Yeah, it'll be
Or
a good
crazy.
it'll be a canary in the coal mine for it. Yeah.
And then something else I didn't watch. Kaiju number 8, episode 1, The Man Who Became a Kaiju. Did
Bit
a
of a
man become a
giveaway at the ending.
kaiju in this?
At the end of it, yeah, he did.
I've read
end.
I've read the comic.
You know exactly what this is adapting from A to B. It's the premise of it. I think it does a pretty good thing overall. Like, it keeps some of the silly wackiness. It definitely lets Kafka make a bunch of silly faces, which is very important, I think.
I thought that's what's important. Like, what charmed me immediately is because at some stage after I saw it coming out in Shonen Jump. It's like, okay, what's that about? It's just like this. I'll get around to it maybe, just like that, but it's kind of in the back of my mind. I kept hearing about it. It's just like, this actually gets it's pretty good. It's a pretty solid comic. It's like, is this really well renowned and all very good? Okay, I'll give it a go. And it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. So it's like world is being attacked by giant monsters, giant kaiju, and it's just like, it's falling around the dude who's got to clean up afterwards. It's like, all right, and he gets exposed to something and turns into a monster as well. It's like, okay, it's gonna be a fucking very harrowing tale of like who's the man, who's the monster. No, he's just being really stupid for he goes like, holy shit, I'm a monster. Oh my goodness. Hey, dude, look at this. You gotta check it out. I'm a fucking monster right now. Holy shit, you are. It goes very quickly zany when it's like, okay, good, because he's a pretty kind of we'll say light-hearted dude in the civilian guys. So he keeps that as a monster, man. It just did have affected him besides like, oh god. I can't sit to work tomorrow. I don't know what to do with this anymore.
So the basic premise is, we follow burnt out old man of 27, Kafka. I've forgotten his surname.
I think he's like
Kafka's very easy to
32
remember.
or something.
32 is how old he is.
So yeah, because they raised the age limit on the thing. You're right. He's still way fucking younger than me. But yeah. So there are kaiju. They attack the city, but they have it pretty much organized where they evacuate the populace. There's like fallout shelters essentially for them to hide in while this kaiju attack is happening. And then you have these super cool army dudes roll in and blow up the first one we see is like a big lizard, like a four-legged Godzilla type Gamera looking motherfucker. But it's so you get an idea of like, big monster attack city, blow up. It's like, they have it down. Like in this attack we see like there's a bunch of property damage obviously, but there's zero casualties. So
I'm sure they're insured for that. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
The 27-year-old is Mina, his childhood friend. So
yeah. Sorry, she's younger.
It's the thing is that not only was she 5 years younger than him, she's achieved far more in her life.
She is riding around on like a giant tiger with almost as giant gun shooting up monsters, and she's the darling of the nation, the savior. It's just, oh fuck, I gotta catch up to that.
It's especially bad for Kafka because he promised her when they were kids, and their entire fucking town was wrecked by kaiju. There's like, we'll join the. I've forgotten what the armed forces are called.
Like the Kaiju Defense Forces.
The Kaiju Defense Force, and we'll fucking kill the kaiju.
Superheroes.
We'll be side by side, and he never passed the entrance exam, and now is on the kaiju cleanup thing because at least, hey, that's an important thing as well.
You want to be involved in it, like still, and there's a lot of that work going around these days.
And as the supervisor keeps putting it, Kafka, you're the best at intestines. We're going to put you on intestines. And he's like, no, we have to do the comedy censored shit as I'm chainsawing the intestines.
Yeah, here's Reno. He's new to the job. You show him how the guts and the shit works. It's like, okay, let's go, little buddy.
And this guy is like, obviously, a young guy, but he wants to join the defense force or wants to apply for it. So he's like, hey, you and Kafka should get on. He's like, Kafka, give up. You're a coward, old man. But no, Kafka's not a coward. He just is not good enough to join the defense force, basically. But carving up monsters is, I think he's pretty good at, and a
Yeah.
necessary function because they got to clean this monster carcass out from the opening in like a week. And I was kind of looking at the devastation. I was like, they have to be exceptionally fucking organized, but they have the intestines done by day 2. So I mean, that's pretty good.
I think like the data seems that it seems to attract others to it. So that's when like, there's a
Yes.
weird kind of like human fit spidery yolk that's like goes after them. Also what took me very on. They get some like giant lizard, sure, but they get weird with the designs of the monsters as
Yes.
well. I like
It was setting you up with like a normal, what you'd think of as a kaiju, which is why I said Godzilla, Gamera, reptilian looking motherfucker. And it's like, all right, so human face spider with like human hands at the end of the legs. It's like, wait, what? It's like, yeah, but like smaller, and he's gonna bite you with his big human teeth.
Yeah,
That's
this is
horrifying.
showing that like test or no test, wherever you see the coffee. He's got the stuff. He's like Captain America. He's just like he's just needs a little push. He's like he's got the heart for this kind of work for putting someone else before him.
Yeah, so I mean, I get your young fella kind of going. It's like, yeah, you were really cool to me the first day. You told me about the importance of nose plugs when doing this fucking job, that kind of thing. Like you were looking out for me despite me calling you a motherfucker. They've raised the age limit, so you don't have to give up yet, old man. And obviously attacked by a spider monster, and Kafka is very defensive of him. No point both of those dying. Go on, call it in, that kind of thing. I'll distract him, and getting very badly fucked up because he's just a guy in overalls trying to run away from a spider monster man. And our young fella kind of comes back, and they're saved by the armed forces.
Calls the armed forces. That's fine.
Yeah, he's saved by his childhood friend, who I don't think she even noticed that he was there, because why would she? She sniped that thing from like several hundred yards away. Yeah. So he's kind of, so they're in hospital. Like his leg got fucked up, and they're kind of like, oh man, fucking, I can't believe that she's doing so well. I mean, like, I promised her. I feel really bad about it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll go for the entrance exam one more time and it'll work. Oh Jesus, is that a monster fly? Oh, it's crawling down my throat. That's bad. It is bad. His friend pulls back the curtain.
I'm a monster man now.
He's a monster man now. He establishes very quickly, no, it's me. It's me, the monster man. That's why I'm in bed where Kafka was. And then some random old guy is passing in the hospital, and he just whips out his phone. He's like, boop, 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 boop. Hello.
Jig is up, out the window.
Again, it has the good comedy moments. It has the good silliness. Like I was worried they could go too serious with this. And like you said, no, I really like the premise of the monster cleanup crew, the damage control of monsters, but that kind of establishes like the way they source their weapons and new technology from carving up these monsters.
That's it. That's both as well. Like and it's he's like he's like the working class hero as well. Like he's going to move up in the armed forces. Some of them are coming in. They're from like military families. They're always going to be in this, but he's just like bringing like this different perspective to it. And also because he's hard to open up these things, he knows where all the weak spots are. So it's like, oh yeah, this guy, fun, chop him up here, shoot him here. That's what you got to do.
Again, the similar to Dungeon Meshi kind of thing. Like it's like if you understand it as food, you understand how to attack it as a monster. That kind of thing. Yeah.
This we see kind of moving as well. A lot of Evangelion shots in there, as bunkers and things get armored up and sealed up. So that's to be expected. It's pulling from a lot of different like things like that. Despite virtue of reading it for so long in black and white, to see the actual color of the thing, to see like what actual shade the viscera that's being sprayed with actually looks like is nice to have.
Yeah.
Less to be said about like the musical choices and the opening and closing, the better. I've just like One Republic. Nah, not into it. I've actually seen how it works with the actual opening of it. This is when like the black credit screen goes out. So
I was waiting until the next episode to actually watch the opening, but okay.
Yeah, anybody watch it on Twitter? I wonder, because it's also just simulcast on Twitter when it comes out the day it comes out. I wonder who's actually using that. Probably more than one person anyway. If you do, write in.
Then we've got Go Loser Ranger episode 2, Go Fighter D, in which the series really properly kicks off, as it's clear everybody's got their own shit going on. Everybody's conniving against everybody else.
It's the thing of the baddies all fighting amongst each other in the Sentai show. It's that thing we fucking.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I got the sense that where they talk about the executives were all defeated in one day, and I'm like, were they all defeated, or did they leg it and abandon the Dusters?
You see, I'm wondering, did they leg it? Did some of them fucking flip sides? That kind of fucking thing. Yeah, yeah. I think there's probably more to it than that.
Like, after you put your guns
Yes.
together and did a team attack and blew it up after the smoke cleared, there were no corpses left. What did you think happened, fellas? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, because this gave me the feeling like, oh no, these poor guys, they've been abandoned by the people who they thought.
Yeah,
had
the generic
defeated.
monsters, the generic filler bad guys who have to lead up to the actual cool fight, have been totally screwed in this situation. Like, as if it wasn't clear before. It's like, fucking hell, man. Like the Rangers showing up to their fucking to their citadel, going like, "All right, bitches, fucking
Yeah,
time
it's
to
just so
fucking learn."
demeaning and demoralizing.
Yeah, so you got the blue one who's acting like an absolute thug, and then the red one is acting like an absolute fascist.
Yeah, it seems like it's just like, no, I'm being totally reasonable. Now you're going to give us the guy who tried to come at us yesterday and didn't play by the fucking rules, or anyway, these two guys are going to be watching every fucking thing you do from now
And
on. So
leaving
don't
two
fuck
guys,
around.
we're all gonna be happy little campers. Happy, happy, happy. Nobody upsetting the apple cart. No way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then one of the other fighters is like, "Oh man, I wish I could be like D and stick it to the man."
That would be Fighter F, one of the big
it.
fat ones. He was the tiger truck in the last episode. I like the fact that I can keep track of these generic faceless goons. It's great.
Yeah, and that's how quickly you get attached to them. It's like, oh well, that's when he gets it, and he gets it for real because they pulled out the fucking super weapon. It's fun. Oh, you don't regenerate from this, pal. You're gonna get it.
Yeah, and also their super weapon looked distinctly like the kind of fucking shit that, I don't know, fucking Lord Zed would pull out. Like, it's made of bone. It looks like a baddie weapon. I was like, did you guys just steal the baddies' weapons and then use them on them? Or are you the baddies? Or,
Did you rip
various
out one of
other
their spines and they're now waving it around? And this is your like, this is the only thing that can kill them is the thing that created them, probably.
Yeah, yeah, it could be something like that. But yeah, and meantime, obviously D is trying to and failing.
Sneaking mission.
He's trying to pretend to be a human, B pretend he's a human who's here to join the fucking Corps, and just him trying to eat a steak, which I presume the Dusters do not need to fucking eat. It was just like, yes, fork and knife, I can do this.
I've seen this before. Okay, knife, fork here, knife here. Never uses the knife. Just like
just like
just for show, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He's with the two from the first episode.
She's fine with this.
I mean, like, she could not seem more suspicious the entire fucking episode, and then that's kind of proven. But yeah.
Yeah, Yumiko and Hibiki. And Hibiki is like kind of the genkiest, most upbeat guy you could ever like, come around. And this is the dude that he's going to decide to try and impersonate to infiltrate one of the divisions.
Yes, and by the end of the episode, it's clear that the other one, she's onto him, and she's been covering for him the entire day when his disguise keeps on slipping.
No, see, I want you to kill them, so I'm going to help you kill them. Here's how we are going to do it.
And I did like that because, like, it's obvious that he's fucking up constantly, but I mean, like, it was obvious kind of watching it, but then her just pointing it out of just like, yeah, I've been covering for you. Like, when you were saying, it's just like, oh, I guess the Rangers will be really weirded out when fucking people say that that the whole thing's fake. Your man's like, what? And she's like, sorry, what did you say again there? And he's like, I mean, did you mean the rumors that were circulating online that the whole thing is staged? And he's like, yes, that's what I was talking about. Like, she's adding to his lies in order to keep him undercover. And I was like, are you either another Duster or another, like you said, one of the baddies undercover?
But she's fully aware of this is all a sham. It's just one thing. This corrupt disease system. I gotta put it down. She's already working the inside angle now. She's got somebody else with her.
Break it down from the inside, and she can't have this new guy trying to break it down from the inside fucking up her thing. So now you work for me.
Yeah, because particularly when, like, he's disguised himself as a Biggie. I have a letter I got delivered straight to the Red Ranger's hands, like straight to the, and it's like, hey man, remember me? Yeah, it's like this dude with like very intense eye makeup and this very aggressive one. Remember me? It's like, yes sir. One said, this is what you call me for coming a name I always call you. Like,
Chan. Kun. What's the honorific I should be looking for here? Yeah.
Don't pick on the new dude. Oh, leave him alone. It's like, it's all right. And then, it's a monster on the loose. It's like a monster on the loose. We're not scheduled. It isn't Sunday yet. Who's going out there? And for no fighter ref, you've gone rogue. You've gone off on your own. Don't do that.
Yeah, but he's looking for Fighter D, and so they pass the actual Red Ranger in the corridor, and he's like, "Yes, that's me. I'm the head guy."
I
out of
thought I was going
uniform.
to pull that little thing for a while, was outside of just like the fucking chins there. Not all of you have like distinctive facial scars, so maybe maybe there could be like a little guessing game of like who's like the real Red Ranger here.
Well, I think the thing he was looking for when
switcheroo.
he walked into the Red Ranger Citadel or whatever they call their little bases, and it's filled with guys who are all wearing the Red Ranger costume. It's like, but they're all like variations in line from the top spot. So again, these guys mightn't be the guys. These guys mightn't be the original guys who defeated the original baddies. So because you can progress apparently to the top, we'll see. But he did see the little mole the guy has under his eyes, because your man was close enough to him when he died. You could see through the visor, and it's like, so I'm looking for the guy. So the guy with the heavy makeup is like, that tells me nothing. But no, it's this guy specifically with the mole under his eye, and he's like, yeah, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna take out my knife and try and stab you now. And your one's like, come on, we gotta go. Let's fucking go. Let's get out of his way. And she's like, don't fucking pull that shit, all right? This is like, I know what you're fucking trying to do. Put that fucking knife away. And she like chops his head off several times to prove a point. To the point where he's just like, all right, let's talk it out.
Let's slow down. Okay.
I can reform my head, but it still fucking hurts. So please stop doing that.
Yeah. He's a guy who wants to like. He's got a desire, but he has no plan.
Yeah, and it established several times over where someone grabs him too roughly by the arm, and you can see cracks appearing on him. It's like, we like what the overlanders is what they call humans or something like that. The surface dwellers or something. They're much tougher than we are. We're very brittle, the dusters, which is why we break immediately on the first attack that they do to us. But we can reform. We don't die, so that's important. But that's not what happens to Owl Fighter F. Poor guy.
No, well, he's got to watch it happen. I guess this will give him the cover now that they may assume that they've defeated the
rogue guy. Yeah, because they did say one of them didn't come back. The Duster said, and it's like, oh, that's probably the one that didn't come back. And they don't notice the difference between these guys. These are the generic mook monsters. Why would they care?
Yeah.
I
don't think they even notice that they have different letters on their shoulder. Like,
I'm sure they don't care. No,
they really don't care.
I suspect they're going to have trouble remembering who the people are underneath them in each of their departments.
Yeah.
Some of them, at least.
Yeah. It seems very like they got their own shit going on. Like the understudy red guys are all like, "Hey, you should join us." To the girl, it's like, you don't want to be in yellow. That's just R&D shit. It's just like
just the fact, yeah, they have their own little like personal like squabbles and things that they're pursuing. They set up a whole like individual divisions that they're pitting against each other. As this, it's just you guys never want. If you ever heroes you've forgotten a long time ago.
And the guy that he's impersonating, the ginger guy, he's like, the fact that he was all in white means he hasn't picked a division yet. So there's that. There's like a stage of this. Okay, you're a generic. There's generic mooks in the good guy side, and then once they pick a color, they become mooks within each of the individual color coded divisions and stuff.
I think maybe for a time it was like, there was like this back and forth like between the two sides, but it was like, this for what it was a kind of like a balance. We'll get you next time, Rangers. But then just the five biggest psychos this thing produced got to the top of it, and around the same time, and then to just like, one like safety's off, we're just going to fucking kill these motherfuckers, and this is going to be the new regime now.
Yeah, it sets itself up really well for the interpersonal conflicts, and like everyone having their own shit going on. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, and like I said for last week, is when it's doing the superhero stuff and when it's doing comedy, it looks pretty good. When it's anything else, it's serviceable. But clearly, the director knows what he likes to do, and that's what's getting the most attention.
Let's trust him.
I do like the dance number at the end as well, where everyone's synchronized. That's it. What's nice about that is like they have the thing where they shift between Rangers and fucking the mooks and the Skullomania looks, and I was like, that's very nice. But the fact that they all dance at a slightly
Yes.
different pace, and some of them stumble and aren't as good at dancing, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's very good.
And
Yeah.
the good news is, the latest Super Sentai brought back the ending dance because that's what it's referencing.
Hey,
is-
excellent.
is
Okay, good,
Super
good.
Sentai having an ending dance, which
Or
hasn't
pedicure.
been there for a while.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it gives it, particularly the way one of them is dressed, gives it a very, well, it is a children's TV program, but the casting feels spot on for children's TV, at least in a couple of the roles. The policeman and the Pink Ranger is like, if you're a 6-year-old child, they're adults who are just old enough to be your parents.
Right. Okay. So they
Yeah.
have the age of authority, basically.
Yeah, sort of middle. Yeah, they're sort of mid-20s, I think, is their ages, but they dress like children. And
they dress like children's TV presenters.
Particularly
Yeah,
the policeman
I understand.
does. The policeman, yeah, which is not the children's TV presenter type
Yeah,
thing. It's like,
yeah.
here's somebody you recognise an adult, but you also recognise child within them. And also, when the actors are mid-20s, you can watch it and think, well, at least there's less likely they're being exploited by their agents or the production company.
Yeah, I think you got to consider.
Then we got Mission Yozakura Family, episode 1 and episode 2, because I forgot to put episode 1 in last week.
I thought it was the week after, which is why I didn't say nothing. So
I haven't watched episode 2, but I did watch episode 1. Episode 1 is the Cherry Blossom Ring, and episode 2 is the Yozakura's Lifeline. So in the first episode, we meet our hero, the bland boy who's the main character. What's his face? Tayo.
Yeah.
I
can only remember
to hear whether it's like, as anything more enticing to us in motion than it does in the comic.
You're one kind of saying Ohio Tayo is the only way I can remember his name, basically. I'm just
right.
like, oh yeah, okay, I got it.
And he's called to the vice principal's office because the vice principal is in fact the oldest brother of the Yozakura family, and he has been told that someone close to his sister is planning on killing her. And hey, this kid, he's always close to his sister. So I'm going to put a stop to this. And then all the other children show up.
He was already being a creep, like by going, like by just being creeping at her in the class. But then he pulls out the phone in the principal's office, like, these are all my favorite pictures of her. And here's her when she was 3 years old. And he's like, how the fuck do you have this? This is a fucked up situation. Here's when I tortured the guy who asked her out last week that you were talking about earlier. And it was just like, fucking hell, that's bad.
Oh, right. I just like, fucking throwing your idol like $1,000 to go back to her old ways. This wasn't creepy. It's too creepy, rather.
Yeah.
And then, yes, the rest of the siblings show up, who are a collection of character designs. My favorite is the one who appears to be Human Oscar the Grouch.
Oh, yeah.
It's sitting in a bin
or
has green hair.
Yeah.
I think my favorite is what is actually a small child in a huge muscular body wearing a bucket on his head, because I get a lot of like Faust from Guilty Gear vibes.
Yeah, I got
and I enjoy that. Yeah.
So to save Taya's life, the sister throws him a ring, and if he puts it on, they'll be married, and so part of the family, and so then the family
can't kill each other. That's one of the family rules. Yeah. Well, they can hurt each other. They just can't kill each other. So
he does this even though the ring gets tied up in wires that the older brother puts. But yeah, Tayo like grabs it, makes his hand bleed, and part of the family. We're a spy family. We do spy stuff. Apparently,
spies in quotation marks.
Yes. Like their version of Spies and Family is wildly different from Spy Family. Like Spies have either A, their own Twitter, or B, like regular Twitter, and they're just announcing all the shit that they do.
It's more of a Fast and Furious style idea of family and spy missions. It's just like fun G.I. Joe International Rescue.
Yeah. Like they talk about how they're like getting undercut by like government organizational spies, and I was like, I thought that would have been the main spies, but it's like no, there's multiple spy organizations and familia that like are competing for government contracts and shit, I assume, and against other governments, and they're just constantly switching sides. and it's very complicated. But they do have a social media and also like a magazine on who's the most popular spy, which is
I
again
read
it's
the
weird how
trades.
public this
I
is.
know.
Yeah.
I
It
liked
doesn't make
this
sense, but-
episode a bit more than I liked reading the first chapter when the first chapter came out. So maybe if they make this 2 or 3 more times, I'll actually like the show. But I didn't watch episode. Did you watch episode 2, Dwayne?
I did watch episode 2. It kind of just gets through the whole establishing. Like, it's like, all right, if you're in the family now, that means you got to protect main girl. Because here's the deal: she's the 10th head of the family, and it's gross because I don't like the forced marriage thing, and also implied breeding thing. She's the only one who can pass down the superhuman genes of the family. And I was like, I don't like that. So that's why she gets to be head of the family, because she doesn't have, the person who passes down the genes doesn't get any superpowers, but then everyone else in the family protects that person because they're going to, the next generation of superhuman spies is going to be produced by that mother. And it's just, so he's like, here's what the thing is. So we got a bomb threat on her. So you're going to have to protect her today because I got to go save some thing, and I'll be back later. But like, if you fuck this up, I'm gonna kill you. And he's explaining this while they're having like a car chase, which is pretty good because the dog is driving the car, which I do love. Actually, I like that dog design as well. That's pretty good. Just dog cat. I don't know what the family pet. It's a weird thing.
A liger.
Could be. But yeah, so and the reason they know this is because the bomber has announced on Twitter that it's like, I got a cool bomb plan. I got the first bomb planted already. He's Tayo's house gets blown up. So he's to protect her through the day, and he realizes that it's like, as a protector, it's like she's always making sure she's with someone else. She doesn't like eat food that's given to her straight away, that kind of fucking thing. It's like she's kind of interred all this thing of keeping herself alive. It's like, that's fucked up. And I've been kind of selfishly thinking about myself this whole time of, and she's been looking out for me, looking out for herself, and this is a rough life for her. I'd like to make it a bit better. They do, because basically the whole family is also hovering around the school in disguises or in a bin, as your Oscar the Grouch type guy is. They're basically like, he's safe. There's like a safety net there, but they're also watching out for the bomber. But he does save her from the bomb. It is like, good job, you did it. It just kind of establishes like the first mission thing. It's like, this is going to be a series of highly dangerous. We're definitely going to blow up some generic mooks, but it's mostly going to be fun for our main characters. Yeah.
Explosions.
Violence.
Dub is known for.
It's all right. I've enjoying the comic, but I was kind of reading it in like big chunks, which I think worked better for me than reading it like week on week. I still don't think I'm caught up on it now, but anyway.
Then we've got Train to the End of the World, episode 3, Short, Happy and Easy. That's the life they're offering you in the Mushroom Kingdom.
This is,
I can see why Mario was a stater all the time.
I like how good it portrays there's something fucking wrong with this. Like it eventually it starts doing like more overt stuff, but like you're one kind of like being all smiling and happy greeting him, and as she's turning, the smile just drops off her
just
face
a
and it goes
second
flat.
or half a second.
Oh, it's stuff like that. We're just like, this is off, and clearly only one of the characters like this is fucked up. There's something fucked up going on here, and the rest of them are just like, no, this is grand. They're cool. What are you talking about? Everyone's
Come in,
cool.
drop your bags, have a soda. Oh, we don't have to go. Please, I insist, have a sauna. It'll be really refreshing for you.
Like, no, and it's like, should we ask them why they have mushrooms growing out of it? You can't just ask someone why they got mushrooms growing out of their head. That's
it's 7G
rude.
fun. You know, we all know what's going on here. Let's give it a break. You know, fun. Like, you know, back home, they're all animals. You know, they're getting on okay. They're fun. I guess various kinds of animals. I think varying like capacities for alcohol. They're getting drunk at a picnic table and getting into fights. But I know. Besides that, they're getting on grand.
Besides, like, sometimes slipping into their animalistic instincts, they're doing grand. Sure, like this place, they're straight up humans, so it must be much better.
Yeah, this is why I say. That's why when I describe Mr. Schubert, I think it's tension is the thing.
Yeah,
is like the trademark thing. It's like sometimes the tension's in a horror, sometimes the tension's in a comedy.
Yeah, but like pacing and tension are like vital in horror and comedy, and this is going for a little of both at various stages. But yeah.
it's mostly getting Akira's voice actor. How many screams can we get out of her? How many like shrill, piercing screams can we get out of her? And it's good because like there's like genuine kind of panic being put in there. It's like okay, that's a pretty good performance, but god damn it.
She's aiming to be the next Scream Queen by the sound of it, yeah.
Ina Kino. She's done any scream-worthy things. Yeah, probably. But she's right though. She's their other three. They have the all mushroom dinner. I guess they've been in the sauna, and it's like we got the supplies together. We can go on. But what's the point though? Really, I mean, we got everything we need right here. Like Ikebukuro man, be there, man. What's the point? Like, no, you should come into the mushrooms. I'm the only one who's still saying. If you go down to the railroad tracks and it's just like, okay, it's 5 o'clock, funny tease on, I got one saying, danger mushrooms. Advise, please, fun. Mushrooms, well, these are the kind of ones you get. This kind of it's like more flavor, and this is kind of sweet, and this is kind of more juicy fun. Saying, I don't want facts, I want fucking like mushrooms, how to get rid of or kill. Okay, well, the one thing you got to know about mushrooms is chew. Oh, fuck.
The important line in there, though, is that he puts it like, is it for truffles, you're better off using a dog than a pig?
Yeah, the dog can find them with its scent, but the pig will eat them because pigs
black is better than white.
I presume that's foreshadowing the final thing that happens in the episode. Yes. I don't want to
snap him out of it. It's like, don't you remember our friend? Don't you remember our friend? We're going to go to do this. It's just like, you're right. You gotta save what's her name? And she just pulls out, yanks it herself. Looks very like it's got its roots in there, or it's one of the things quite deep into your brain.
And this is like everyone in the town is like hitting on the windows of the train, like oh, let us in, be a mushroom
life
with
here.
us.
Come on, let's give us a chance. We'll show it to you.
And even yanking the mushrooms out of the other two girls' brains, and they like wiggle on the ground. I was like, oh, that's nasty. I don't like that.
Well, yeah. Earlier on, we saw them like launch like Italian circus out of people's heads towards Akira when she was running from them.
Like there's so many good shots of horror in this. Like the shot of like the guy walking with a woman, and the guy just like falls the fuck over, like his glass is breaking the ground. The woman just keeps going. Like it's like your kind of zombie movie or your virus movie or whatever kind of thing. It's like it seems very fucking wrong, and the fact that the mist kind of comes in and it gets more Silent Hill as it goes on. I was like, oh, that's good shit. I like that.
I kept getting this like, obviously the mushrooms have them brain control. That's why it is, but you don't get that sense at the end. It's just like because he tries. Akira tries to yank the mushroom off the hostess lady who's been with them. It's just like let go, no, just stop them. No, quit it, just stop it. What, you're brain controlled? Who? You're just assuming we're brain controlled?
Yeah.
Like, maybe we actually the lifespan of these mushrooms. Only like a couple of years. But it'll be a good couple of years. The world is fucked. Just let us have this. Maybe we decided ourselves to do this.
Like her facade of friendliness and welcomingness and like I'm trying to convince you just drops, and she's very fucking rude all of a sudden.
Insane.
Yeah, and the idea that it's just like, it's been 2 years. The world has ended. We're in a post-apocalypse, and it's just like these mushrooms make us not care, so we're actually fine with keeling over and dying randomly. How bad? We just want to give this to you. Like, if you don't want it, fuck off. Just fucking leave. Like, I don't fucking care.
Stop wiggling fucking like bitter melon unless we hate it.
It was the idea that it's just they're not doing it out of maliciousness. They think they're doing you a favor by infecting you with you don't care if you die or not mushrooms. But it's just like, that's just if you were just gonna wave fucking bitter melons in my face, get the fuck out of here. I don't fucking get
well, let's say that, but offering to them, they kind of did it through by a very underhanded means.
They did, yeah.
So you didn't really give them the choice so much in doing it. But oh, come on, everyone do the saw now. It's just top. Let's go.
They think it's the right thing because they've been living and dying like this for 2 years. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Well, maybe this is the right thing for us. Maybe the right thing that we feel to do is to go and see if our friend is still there at the end of the tracks.
And just the idea that people's opinions can change over 2 years, especially when you turn into an animal or are now a mushroom person, or like the changes that have caused the world, like change how you feel and act in it. Yeah.
Yep. Well, good thing we're clear of mushrooms. That was a pretty hairy episode. Good thing we got rid of all of them and no one got bitten or anything, right? They're all gone, aren't they? Yeah. nothing back here. I need to show him. I'm telling anybody. It's like, oh, you're doing it already. You didn't tell me you were a bit.
Yes,
Mm.
there's dog sniffing her butt. Yeah, so presumably she's got a mushroom infection and not in the head. And
Which is why it wasn't affecting her personality, but how's it going to affect her butt, I guess, is the idea.
yes,
Yeah.
rather
Very
than
regular
turning,
now.
I think some people thought she was turning into an animal.
Yeah, and again, like the dog thing, that she was better at sniffing out the mushrooms. I can see how you go into that. Yeah.
Anyway, next week, goats.
Hey.
Oh, man.
Dear.
I realised as this is a Mizushima, there's a good chance we're going to get a rabbit-based tale as well.
It's
So don't think-
Oh, I
anything
should have
you
looked
think
at your man's
happen now.
map. Yeah, your map.
Yes.
If there's a rabbit on it, it'll be on his little map.
Yeah, but kind of the kind of vignettes here, and like, there's always going to be like a very horrific one. It's just like, okay, we're going to do something like that early on, and this is going to be even kind of a bit more disarming, because this means it's probably going to be
Yeah.
something that's really heinous. Later on, it's going to come out of nowhere. They won't kind of build it up like this. It'll just be obviously on you. It's like, oh, that's going to be even more shocking when it happens.
Then we've got Root of OddTaxi, episode 3, Love Thy Neighbor, in which we learn who Rita was.
I like that her realization at the end of the last episode, going like, oh yeah, it's like, yeah, you knew the missing girl when you were growing up, so you know her dad. You can just go talk to her dad. Like, that was her. It's like, oh yeah, I don't need to like snoop and shit. I can just go up to him. He's like, hey, I'm a private investigator now, looking for your daughter. It's like, oh, and you're a friend, so absolutely, I'll talk to her, and I know you personally. And I was just like,
That was easy.
like, no shit, like, make life easier for yourself.
Yeah, she was Rena, the pink-haired rabbit lady.
She, like, we saw again. Do we get 2 or 3 scenes that we've seen in the anime before? Yeah, do we get the scene with Otakawa and your man in the taxi, threatening him in the taxi to work for him?
A little bit of a anime. Yeah.
We get her talking to the streamer guy who's going to catch the same fella threatening Otakawa, and what's the third scene? We get another one that we've seen before, but from a different perspective.
There's like
yes,
when Sato is like, he's down the pub, like, and
Yes.
it's
Yeah,
been just
that's
going
it.
on there. There's Kaki Hana meeting with Odakawa, but hey, I got a girlfriend, it's just like a measure on fucking Tinder. What do you think? It's just like, what do you say about yourself right there? It's an extra few zeros on your salary, This is come on,
Like,
man, I'm just so lonely.
It is the same scene, but we're seeing it from the point of view of that young detective guy
Sato,
watching this, and going like, Jesus fucking Christ, like, like an outsider watching this light, and that it's not only the fact that it's live action, we get a different perspective on it from an outsider.
And then, like, in the
looking at this,
table,
yeah.
like, no fun again, over his other shoulder in the back of the room is like
Yeah.
the mob boss is coming to Dobu. Come on, man! I know we've been butting our heads, but you got to sort us out for me. And he's the one kind of bowing down to Dobu, and the guys are like, "Boss, no."
Dobu, I really need you to use your head here. And Dobu's like, oh, like he's pointing to the head. And
Yep.
Dobu's like punching himself in the head. It's like, got it, boss, you got it. And it's like, fucking guy.
If you've been watching the Fable, the Fable does that to his head as well.
Yeah.
So it was weird seeing it here, because that's when he presses his head to change his accent.
Okay.
But yes, Dobu is like, yeah, that guy works for my friend. So if you hurt, I'm going to have to pay him compensation for hurting his employee. So please, I'm begging you. I know he's asking him because obviously Dobu has done time for him. So that's where that's the relationship.
Like Dobu, you're solid in the fucking gang. I'm not kicking you out of the gang or nothing, but like, just be a little. I know you spent a lot of time in Pokey. Things are a little more like complex now. I need you to play along.
Then when he's threatening Sato at the end of the episode, it's like over his head, he knows he can't kill this guy, but this guy doesn't know that he can't kill this guy.
I can break his little finger, though.
Oh, the fucking thing of him like dragging him into the construction yard is like, my boss is making a building here, so it's like, so you know what that means, and your man's like, it's fun to work with friends towards something better, and it's like, Oh, you're
Left
so
or
hard
right?
to threaten. Breaks
Left
finger.
or right?
It's like,
Which you need? Which you like least? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
and it's like,
I'll tell you. Don't
which do you
worry.
like less, your left finger or your right finger? And he's like, but I have 10 fingers. And it's like, fucking guy. He's so dumb. He's so hard to threaten.
Yes, he is.
And the reason he's
just
getting threatened is because he opened your one's laptop, was watching the footage, and it's like, fucking Dobu's in his taxi. I can use this to see where the taxi drops him off and follow him fucking home. And Dobu's like, hello, fucker. I saw you following me home very badly.
So stuck. Hey, I found where Dobu was hiding. As you say, that he just looms out of the shadows, just like, oh yeah, you're going to take a walk with me, pal.
Like his investigating, following Dobu through town and like picking up random cigarette butts off the ground and pretending to smoke them behind a pole. I'm just like, you're bad at this. You're so bad at this.
Like,
but he's very good comedy. Yeah.
Renault's the one really goes to fun Kabusawa. It's like an all kind of do the classic like honey trap here. He's obviously, you know, this like when enraptured by his own desires, by his own swelled ego. So if I was like, you know, give him a little bit of ankle, like a friendly ear, will give me everything I want to know.
Yeah, I like, because he's made it public that he's trying to catch this guy. People have come to him with information. Maybe I can get that information out of him. God, he's a fucking idiot, and you can't help but insult him under her breath constantly.
Well, maybe openly disdaining of him
and
as he
then
leaves.
towards the end,
yeah, we get a lot more about Don, don't we?
Yes,
in this series, which I think is the benefit of it, is filling out his, because he mentions that, because Rita assumed that he'd hired her boss, but no, he'd spoken to the tapir, his childhood friend, and he sorted it out. And we see a lot more of him at the TV. We get a glimpse of Homo sapiens, I think, at the TV station. They don't get any lines.
Yeah, it's open. It's like, oh, we're going to have like a big cash giveaway of this one lucky bureau and like this big stack of money. He's just going, what's the point? Like he can't even like put it on anymore. Because like, well, what's the point? What does money get you in the end? It's bare of no people and wonders.
Like and them trying to go like, all right, and here's the weather, you know.
Come on, Mother man, bail us out, save us.
Just this TV talk show going like, our constant special guest is really fucking with us right now.
He's pretty down. He's pretty angry.
And it's great because like not just focusing and developing him more as a character, because like the premise is like we know from watching the anime, there's a missing girl and there's all these people involved in it, and that wasn't what the anime was about. That was like a very tertiary story to our characters we were following.
You don't ever saw him on TV footage, you know. You know, just like, you know, you never get to really sense him unless you saw this particular thing. But I imagine this was scrubbed from repeat airings.
You know, he was on telly. You know, he was at one stage popular enough to have a limited run of erasers based on his head. And that's about it. Yeah.
We'll get the scene with the Calico Cat as Edkawa.
Yeah. That's the other one I was thinking of as well. Yeah, there's a few again, and the changed perspectives on that. Yeah. And
we get mention of Shun and his lottery ticket. So he hasn't. We know that he's going to win a ridiculous amount of money. But at the moment, it's just Odakawa complaining that
this
guy.
I just gave him some lottery numbers, and we wouldn't shut the fuck up.
But he should have paid his fare instead. What the fuck? And instead, his friend is trying to like, check it out. I'm going out with a fucking young'un.
The
he's like,
of
you're absolutely not.
Is fantastic.
Like, he's got less energy, but I mean, like, we're talking about the energy of a cartoon monkey, so not as easy to do. But like the look, like the down fucking troddenness is like, oh, he does a great job. Yeah,
he's done the best he could within reason for his like profile picture as well. And say, there's no hiding that, man, but I appreciate the effort.
No. Well.
Yeah, man, it's so good. Such a fascinating project.
It just gets me again. It's just like, you know, it's putting up your crowd music now. Oh no, come on, don't spool it up now. This gonna drop me something else. It's like, oh, it's spooling up now. We're out.
Yeah.
It's reeling me in all over again.
Then we've got Bartender, Glass of Gold, episode 3. What was this one called?
The Perfect Taste.
It's Mr. Perfect.
He's so perfect. He's won a food an award that usually is given to like farmers or like one of the major kind of producers of food, but people in the service industry usually don't win this fucking award, and that's how good he is at cocktails. He makes the perfect cocktails.
Yeah, he's got fucking this, fucking this lifetime achievement award for being like so good at as being a cocktail man. He's just so it seems to be like they want to get Rio in to because he's the bartender at this hotel or this chain, and it's like
At the hotel chain across the road, like competing with them basically. Yeah,
we have to like get him in there as well, like and what I really like between like so many of the interactions here is that again, this is falling closer to the manga and all. It's really just kind of puncturing the like preconception if you've only ever like seen the previous like anime of this and that one of this like this like perfect kind of like, again he seemed like he was Mr. Perfect like Ryu did, but everyone is like kind of good on for him in like was they want him in or just want to kind of just puncture his ego. It's like I really like how it's just like kind of taking him apart. And we're seeing him get annoyed. And we're seeing him get flustered with things. The humanity of the dude and all that.
So yeah, we have scenes with the hotel chain magnate guy and his granddaughter coming in, where he's like, "Yeah, this is my lover," and he's like, "Absolutely not! Like, I'm so good at reading people that you've chained her nappies or something like that." Like, I figure out she seems more like your granddaughter, and the grandpa's like, "You got me. This is why I come here for the witty repartee of you being able to fucking peg me straight away." Would be a young woman that comes in and she makes up a drink, and he mixes up exactly what she needs.
B&B.
And he's kind of like, it's like, man, it's so sad that she wants to quit bartending because she said she quit her job. And it's like, how did you know she was a bartender? It's like, oh, I have my ways. Like so, and that him meeting her later in town and kind of admonishing her. It's like, you got to fucking try a little harder for at bartending. You might as well give up. And then he's really shitty to her, and that's contrasted with the way Mr. Perfect treats him.
So Kuzuhara comes in and is just like, "Give me a gin fizz," and he's just obviously trying to test him. From the chairman of the compound saying, "I see what he's doing right now."
And the reason why Mr. Perfect came here is because Mr. Perfect recognized the chairman and was just like, "Wait, you went to a different bar after my winning best cocktail fucking award ceremony?" And it's just like, well, now I'm fucking jealous of this guy.
Was just dying down, man. We needed something smooth and cool. That's why we came here.
So sorry, go on.
Or was a gin fizz? It's like, he's testing it because this incorporates all of the techniques, like the basic things a bartender should have, from shake to the stir to the measuring of ingredients to the quality of the ice and the ratios. You got to have it all on point here. And here you go. So it's just like, what's that? You got like put rum in this? It's like, not quite that. It's actually got kind of like confectioner's sugar like that. I was thinking like a gin fizz might be like too sedate for a man of your obvious talent and experience.
I'd say to give you something with a little more interest to you, because like you probably had a gin fizz like 1,000 fucking million times, like you do it so well. And I put a little variance on it, and it's like it wasn't actually rum. It was the confectioner's Japanese sugar that has a similar flavor profile, and the chance that the head fucking grandpa guy is kind of like, "Oh fucking, we pulled one over you," and your man's like, "All right, cool, I gotta go. Fuck you. You didn't make a perfect drink. You fucked it up."
It was also like if you got 50 points, I thought it was rum. It was just like, oh, he's
it's a similar flavor profile.
He's put one over on me.
So that's why your head guy, invites him to the Mr. Perfect's bar so they can have a drink off, I guess.
Yeah,
who can make the perfect cocktail?
He comes in like, wasn't expecting him to come in along. It's just like, he's got his assistant Chen. Because his parents, it's like, "Chen, lock up." It's just like, oh man, this is fun business that we're throwing down.
Yeah.
So they invite as well, fucking herself up, and because she's going to be the impartial, third party in all of this thing. And okay, the two of you going to make the exact same thing. Lady, what would you like? Kyoko, what would you like? It's just like, it's that for. Would you carry? What would you like? It's just like, Give me a Manhattan. Like, I think we're gonna go for a Manhattan right now. It's just like, yes, the Manhattan, the queen of cocktails. If the martini is the king, this must be the queen. It's like this will test them to know. And it's like, all right, and they're just like doing it there. When they had to both have it in the glasses like that, they're kind of stirring like in sync. It's like fun saying, "Let me show you what Manhattan's all about, young man." You know, it's just really a little bit of like edge creeping in.
The grandpa says, "Close your eyes," so you don't know which drink is which. The glasses are like a slightly different stem glass, but like so they'll know, but she won't know which one's which.
The fun saying, "Ooh, that's pretty good." Yeah, it's like really kind of it's very rich and vibrant. That's I'll try the other one. It's just like, well, that's really good. Actually, like, no, that's actually kind of hitting me like right in the sweet spot. What's treated that fun saying? I must confess that's me as for you. Because I saw like you would come in, and the human tongue cake, it's like its range is like 25 higher or lower than body temperature. That's why it can only go so hot or so cold, or pick it up so much. So that's why I know it's like you came here in a bit of a rush at your granddad's behest. You probably a bit of just like a bit of like heat and a bit of like sweat.
But you got a bit of a sweat going, so I adjusted the temperature in line with your body heat as you came in, basically.
Yes, it's why it's better than like this. And then Higuchi is like, all right, try it again though. Have another sip. It's like, oh yeah, it's that little little thing is gone now. For saying that's because you didn't fucking make it right. Fucking,
and like, when she tries Mr. Perfect's one again, it's like that tastes exactly as good as
that's just as good as it was. Yeah.
So his thing is like, I make the perfect cocktail. I don't adjust it to the patron. That's why your cocktails are imperfect. Because they're all custom fucking made to people, and it was adjusted to her temperature when she came in, not her temperature after we started talking about cocktails, and therefore you'll be pathetic to me. And it's the standard like thing that pisses me off about I'm the best at being whatever the fuck the thing is. It's like, cool, can you run all pubs? Because like, if you can't, we're going to need more than one bartender.
And he's being hard on them a bit because he's kind of points. Again, it's the Germans like saying, "Oh, we're going to test him, but we're going to push him and all." We've got to basically kind of get him back in the game. Get his like his instincts flowing again, because it's like as well he runs into Kyoko was like the bartender in training to order the drink, and it's like, oh yeah, like customer ordered the B&B, and it's like, and it's a very like mildest of mild critiques. It's like, no, it's pretty good. It's not bad, but I've had better. Like one saying, so it's like, oh, I totally get that stirring. Right, one saying, yes, boss. I've batched all night. And I got blisters burst. Like, try stirring that spoon all for so many hours now. And it's just like, oh, he's kind of like, well, that's just like, how crazy you gotta be to be a bartender. You haven't got the stomach for it. I guess you might cut up for the job. I was saying, what the fuck are you saying to me? I'm fucking trying to phone, do my graft and climb up here, man. Who's going to say to me, phone? It's just getting really defensive about that, but it's kind of
he's as to the newbie bartender than the Mr. Perfect is to him. Like it's kind of like shitting down, basically. Yeah.
But it's sort of like I think they're both like cutting it into something quite clear. It's like you put your look at little like tricks of you're reading the person as they walk in. You're going to tailor to their drinks. You're going to do that, but it's like. You're going to give them to the way that you kind of you've introduced the way they have, but not the way that the fun asked for, or maybe themselves. Maybe it's one of the things. Oh well, they don't know what they're after. I'm just trying to read into what it is. It's like, yeah, but isn't that a bit condescending, man? Sometimes if you push it too far. And don't make fun starting your whole fucking thing. Bar means perch and tender means shit. What the fuck is that about? It's like really like kind of like poking and puncturing this facade of his. People call him a fucking fake man. People call him a fucking fake smiley face. But he's fucking your little mind games. It's cute trick, but it's fun. It's affecting your bartending game. You've forgotten your fucking like how you came up, man. So cutting him down the size of it, and I guess it's all part of the ploy. Like, he may feel like he's kind of got into like a mode, and maybe he's kind of moved around so much. He was stuck in that way, but obviously that didn't last because he's back in town. His bar is gone. He had to kind of start it back up again all over, and just trying to get his bartender fighting instinct, trying to restoke it, get him back out there. So I like seeing these different things you can kind of pinball off of now, and just like calling them out.
There's different levels of skill. There's different levels of being in the thing. It's the idea of like making the drink to the customer, or making the drink to make the best drink. That kind of thing is like, what are you trying to achieve with your bartending? That kind of way. Yeah, there's a different level there. But I was like, if you're not perfect, then you might as well quit bartending. Both of them saying this at different stages to different people, and I was like, calm down, lads. It's not that big a deal. Because
Yeah.
when your man is like, oh man, I can't believe Mr. Perfect called me out on that, he still went to that one fucking guy's bar that is open really late. And I was like, that guy knows what he's doing. Just stay open late. No one else to compete with. It's perfect.
I will see now. Yeah. Well, it's a little bit of actual, like, conflict and tension. You kind of need a little bit of something that keeps it sharp. After by dulling it with copious fancy drinks all night.
And it still keeps like a lot of a chill atmosphere despite the competitiveness in this episode. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Then we got where's my voice? There it is. Chibi Godzilla raids again. Season 2, episode 2. Chibi Manila is a big girl.
What is she?
I don't know how big she is in comparison to regular Manila. As it's like, doesn't Manila mean mini Godzilla? Like it's like so Chibi mini Godzilla. Okay.
Microzilla.
Also, it does the wonderful thing, and I'm so like as a joke, it's very funny. They make Manila better and more palatable than Godzilla, who's a prick. It's just like, oh, I love Manila. I hate Godzilla. It's like, which is an unusual opinion to have.
Yeah. Chibi Godzilla is teaching Chibi Manila about stranger danger. And
here's a stranger we can use as an example. And it's like, no, it's me, Mecha Godzilla. You know me. It's like, close enough.
He really knows somebody.
So yes, Chibi Mecha Godzilla is wearing sunglasses to pretend to be a stranger, and so they act out a play while Chibi Godzilla hides behind a bin, shouting encouragement to Chibi Mecha Godzilla to be more creepy.
Manila. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like, whoa, that was pretty creepy. A little too creepy, if you ask me. And Mechagodzilla's like, what the fuck, man? Like, come on. I'm doing the standards like, hey, your dad asked me to pick you up from school. Like, I'm just running through the basic fucking shit here. Like, don't judge me for this. Also, the idea that Godzilla would ask Chibi Mechagodzilla, would you pick up my kid from school? Like, I'm just like, the situation is wild enough despite Chibi Godzilla commenting on the whole fucking thing. Yeah.
And it inevitably ends up with Chibi Mechagodzilla getting blasted by radioactive beams from a mouth.
Yeah. How it usually ends for Mechagodzilla. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's question whether people are questioning in the comments whether Chibi Manila is a big girl because they don't use any gendered language in the script, and I think the translation would be like Chibi Manila is a solid person.
Okay. So it was just like it is grown up is what
but
they were going
yes.
for. Yeah,
I think I was looking up the phrase they used. There was a lot of usage of that phrase though on women's blogs and websites saying how to become a solid person.
So that's why they feminized it in the English.
Quite possibly.
Yeah,
or that's just maybe it's entirely possible that Chibi Manila is a big girl and this is handed down from up above from Toho, because obviously Chibi Manila is not Manila. They're two separate people.
No, this is Chibi Manila.
Because we've established that Chibi Godzilla isn't Manila as well, and Godzilla is in this story. We've seen him occasionally.
He's in the opening. Come on.
He's massive. Which questions just how Chibi these
Chibi
guys
at
are.
all. He's Oki Godzilla.
So yes, I'm happy to say Chibi Manila is a big girl. I'm assuming that is the official stance for now on Chibi Manila. Then we've got Delicious in Dungeon, episode 16, Cleaners and Dried with Sweet Sake. In which we get some more dungeon biology lessons. How does the dungeon repair itself? Well, there's tiny organisms called cleaners who devour corpses and rebuild walls.
And they rebuild like destroyed bits of rock and make new bricks and stuff out of it. So if your DM ever uses the same fucking map twice, that's why. So you're good. Like no.
I think I believe this is even more specifically very much like Japanese RPG culture, where so if it's the same now, but I believe in the past you quite often do the same dungeon again and again.
Yeah. Like it was a map in a video game, or but that's why, because it basically everything's recycled. I mean, Senchi's been all about that for ages, so he's fine with the cleaners. That's not magic to Senchi. That's just perfectly normal.
I think
Yeah,
that is also used to be US D&D culture as well, because I think often
A
the
lot of
gelatinous
the
cube
Japanese.
kind of exists for that purpose.
it's very
Yeah.
it's very solipsistic. It's just like it is like, well, I move like between the video game screen, like, you know, and I go back. But when I go back to the same screen, all enemies are back there again. How does that happen? Apparently, dungeon cleaners. That's how it happens.
Yeah. I mean, like a lot of the Japanese D&D culture comes from like first edition early stuff, like the kobolds being dog-like and that kind of thing. But like, yeah, the cube is like literally we work on square grids, so it's a cube when it moves down this corridor. I just needed to encompass the entire fucking corridor basically, but it cleans up all the dead bodies, so that's why it's clean. Yeah. Presumably the Japanese cube is just a big cleaner then. Yeah.
These are useful to know then, because when you're getting like scouted out by like a familiar of the lunatic edition, you can just like kind of smush yourself into a partially reformed wall because it's still soft and you can hide inside it.
I did like Senchi's reaction. Is like, these fucking cleaners, they keep trying to eat my tent, and it's just him sweeping them away with a brush, annoyed. It's like, get away. Just like trying to get rid of ants, basically, like a very minor annoyance to Senchi, and just going like, no, Marcel was like, it's an essential part of the fucking dungeon, and that's why it's cool and good. And it's like, can we cook it? Is basically the standard question.
Well,
this show
you could put food into it at least. And because like, oh, it's like compostable takeaway plates or bowls. Like, oh yes, you can just one. You can even eat the whole thing. It's like really a bread bowls. It just tastes like kind of dirt, and then like kind of like a caterpillar-y kind of band to it. Why won't work around it? It's just.
Which does suggest that Leos has eaten caterpillars at some stage, which is not surprising at all. It's just like.
But the egg rice that they have making that, wow, and it's that's like, you know. It's tied with another egg rice in another show. We talk about just shortly. It was like, oh man, I was like, that's like my go-to breakfast, and seeing some with these idealized versions of it. Well, the best, cockatrice egg, but
yeah, the difference is like
the
snake eggs being like squishy and floppy. Essentially, has it like over his shoulder like a bag of egg. It's just kind of nasty.
So delicious and creamy.
When would Shiro find that his party discover them? But when Leos is tucking into a delicious brick.
So they're accosted by ninjas and monsters, but don't worry, it's Shiro's party.
She only just like crops in for like, oh, it's just like when we conjured all our scrolls, or is that real? It's can tie you up in webs though.
It's real enough to grab you and tie you up in webs, and obviously it only
Shiro,
just like
buddy, how's it going?
Shiro, you look like shit. What happened? Yeah, he looks. I like it's kind of contrasted because we do get a flashback to him. It's like, yeah, he looks like ass. Like he's lost a shitload of weight, which is why Senchi's right. Fucking proper fucking diet and exercise. Come on, you need to do it.
This is one of those things like, well, like I'd be fun terrible for skipping breakfast, and like I guess gotta push on with these things like that, like, you know, and it's like, yeah, I can know that when I'm reading this comic, and it's like, actually, yeah, you fucking this. It's something I know I have to know you should do with that, but the way it's kind of phrased, it's just like, food eating isn't something you put off until later. You eat now so you can do things later. That's the fucking order it should be in. Like if one said, yeah, like maybe my basic fucking brain needed that told to me in straight terms. Like, okay, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So we kind of, okay, everyone, cool. We're just gonna have, you know, just like break off, and you kind of like, you know, we'll go get cooking. We're gonna have a little talk over here, and just going, shit, who do I go with is gonna cause the least amount of damage here? Largely iPhone saying, oh, we're eating monsters. Yum. Senshi goes, oh, should eat monsters all the time. Monsters. Yeah, I just go with Senshi. Gotta keep him under control.
I gotta go with Senshi because at least Leos knows your man, and he's probably more going to deal with his bullshit. But also, Kabaru's party is here, and Kabaru's like, pleasure to meet you, Leos. It's been I've been looking forward to meeting you at some stage. And Leos like, oh, but pleasure's all mine. It's like, he doesn't recognize me, so either he doesn't remember who I am, or they're not the guy who robbed us, or and he's working out all the fucking angles.
Yes. Or he saved us by taking that treasure because it was cursed. Offers
or all of them. It could have been all of those fucking things. I mean, like, he was half right about the treasure being cursed, like that kind of thing. And his like Kaburu's such a great character because he's like this manipulative like bastard who's like, I'm trying to fucking play the angles and play people and that kind of shit. But you know he's doing it for like a good reason because he actually does want to destroy the dungeon, kill the Lord of the Dungeon, make sure monsters don't spill out and kill innocent people. That's a legitimate reason. But
So I
he does it
Gatsby
such a
here when he
dickish way.
spills to his friend about everything.
Yeah.
Yes, dickish, but also perhaps he's more sensible. Except he's the person who's got killed the most out of the people we've met so far.
Yeah. He's a good people manipulator, not a good monster fighter, technically. No,
which is why he's trying to manipulate. I think he's trying to make sure he can survive by accumulating Shiro's might with them. Yes, but it turns out should have gone with Laos because Laos is a fucking idiot and happily tells
we
people
can probably
that
tell
he does
Shiro.
crimes.
It's cool.
Be resurrected, use necromancy to bring Fallon back. It was the only way. I'm sure you might find you were. And actually, I didn't fucking know you were sweet on her. I'm just that fucking oblivious to things everyone else knew, but apparently I didn't.
He's been told that recently, and Laos is actually being manipulative in his own way there, because as soon as he says, "Yeah, we use like forbidden magic," and Iman's like, "You use black magic to bring her back. You know that means you're criminals, and you'll be put in the deepest, darkest dungeon. They won't even fucking let your bodies out for burial, that kind of fucking thing. You son of a bitch! You did this to the woman I loved." And he's like, "Yeah, but you're not going to tell anyone about it, are you?
No,
because if you do, then we won't be able to save her, will we?" And
he's asked the other two to leave, which was Kabru and the ninja with the pointed cowl, the pointed ninja mask. And then it's just like, why you guys, what's going on? He's pulled a fucking sword against it. What's that? What's happening? What up? What's happening? It's pretty screaming to fun saying, and then the ninja with the pointed cowl just goes, "Yeah, she's using the necromancy to bring the one back to life. It's completely, it's just lazy, just spills everything they were just talking about. Because I wonder if they got some good sense of hearing, for some reason. Under that hood of theirs."
And we kind of get an idea of like the idea with his group of again Chilichuk being the kind of creepy old man is like, "Nice, you got a bunch of ladies in your party, nice," which is just like, stop it, Chilichuk. But like you kind of get a good idea. The party was like, "All right, you, the ogre one, I need you to go get stuff for Thing. You're coming with me. All you mages, we're going to do the magical barriers to keep out monsters, because this is a very big party at the moment. That's very dangerous."
Yeah.
And you very cat-like ninja, you guard him. That's all you get to fucking do. Like it's menial fucking jobs, and the way, and she keeps calling people like, I think she refers to the gnomes as dwarfs as well. She just calls anyone who's short a dwarf.
Yeah.
It's like, and even Senshi, who's being really friendly and nice and cool to her, it's like, the reason why he liked the food you cooked when you were raising him as a young lord is because you put love in it as the secret ingredient. She's like, fucking, you're just trying to be cheesy. It's true though, dwarf.
Yes,
you're quite correct there.
Getting on. The two you least expect are getting on.
Yeah. It's like Senshi's grand actually in this situation, because he's not bringing up all of the fucked up things he does. He's focused on cooking, which is like, that's grand. Senshi's distracted sufficiently.
When they're rushing in, when they hear the commotion, like she drops the tray and she's just like, whoa, let's not waste food here, right?
Senshi catches the tray immediately. Yeah, good stuff.
And then we check outside and we get a proper look at what Fallon has turned into.
A bit of everything, really.
She's like the top half of her body, and then the bottom half is sort of
dragony, griffin-y looking yolk.
Yeah. And she is
weeping blood,
and crying out for Lord Belgal.
I did joke at the end. It's like, wait, she's okay, folks. It was like,
fine,
she's alive. She's alive, in a sense. So that's good enough, right?
Well, if she's a monster, it might be a way to unmonsterize her. I know how I unmonsterize things. Why are you cocking your axe? It's just going that way. That's my sister. That's my girlfriend. She's a girlfriend. No, she could have been, but she could turn into a monster.
Yeah, so I'm assume we're not going to get to the end of the series with this.
Oh God,
series.
No.
Like this, actually, just from reading it, I mean, I'm done reading it myself. It's like I'm surprised that this just goes on like a fair way, and there's also yet more factions that have yet to be brought into the thing.
Yes, I was looking at the card game, and
we're at volume like 5 or 6, I think. So out of what's that, 14 volumes?
Looking at the covers,
Yeah,
5 or 6. Well, there's an episode I think be just after this one that I've been looking forward to. I'm glad it's going to be kind of caught within the confines of this series.
I enjoy the comics so much that I think of it like, oh, I'm looking forward to that chapter. I'm looking forward to this joke and seeing how they do that in performance and that kind of stuff. Like, yeah.
I have an idea of what like the little art they're going to leave off on, because it's a very like emotional culmination for one character. One that'd be just about right to just kind of just leave it off there, and then you come back just like because that'll be about halfway through. We'll say if we're going by accepted volumes.
36 this week we were
okay.
So what's that? 36 divided by 16. Average of 2.25 chapters.
That's a pretty good average.
Well, like they're the individual one, because they split them into like 2 stories a lot of the time. So that's one story is 1 chapter generally. And some of them they can run longer or shorter depending, and still be 1 chapter as well.
Yeah, so volume 8 I think is probably where it's taken us to.
That feels about right, yeah.
Which then leaves another 6 volumes.
But after in the back half, it gets a bit more intensive, and there's like the chapters like they just feel longer to read, whether they are actually longer in pacing. So it's there's more things you can expand upon, and obviously it's going to get more actiony. So you're going to get like them going wild with the action scenes when those come about.
Which is another thing to look forward to besides jokes, yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice package, nice solid package. It hasn't really kind of let down. Maybe some weeks were like less good than others, but they're consistently been pretty decent.
Yeah.
The board game you play as one of the parties, and I noticed there's a party who aren't in it yet.
Yeah, well, I mean.
I think they're in the opening credits.
Oh yes, a couple of times now.
Yeah, they are actually.
They will be introduced, before the end of the chunk where they're going to get to. But when actually get their hands into it, it'll be a little while off yet.
And again, having the old party members show up in this, and the new guy in Kabaru, the outsider, like judging Leos's fucking things is like, yeah, we ate the monsters on the way. It's like, you ate the fucking monsters, and it's like. I mean, like, I'm surprised you're down this far. I mean, like, isn't it all fucking like orcs here? It's like, don't worry, we're working with the orcs are fine. It's like, do they taste good? Says Gabriel. It's like, no, you don't eat orcs. Orcs are people.
I know that, man. That's what's on the back of like volume 2. It off like like they ate all those for them. What we got here, like you got kelpie, we got what? Orcs, not orcs, man. Orcs are people, dude. You don't eat people.
It's orc cuisine. It's fine. We got an understanding with the orcs. It's like, adventurers are supposed to hunt orcs, right? All orcs naturally have bounties on their heads, and it's just like Leos is doing everything wrong and explaining it to these people, one of whom doesn't like him, and the other of whom like will possibly kill him if he deems it necessary. Actually, I guess both of them will kill him if they deem it necessary. But yeah,
Shiro's halfway there already.
Yeah, basically.
Because we know from previous, Kabaru is not one for bringing people back to the surface to stand trial.
Let the dungeon sort it out. What happens in the dungeon stays in the dungeon if you don't get them revived. So, yeah.
Then we got Windbreaker, episode 3, The Man Who Stands at the Top. In which we get these 2 idiots going off at each other at the start.
Oh, the idiocy that they attach to him is he has been in the gang since before he came to high school, because they let him wear the jacket before because he's that fucking in. It's like, oh, I gotta join these guys. These guys are cool. So he's a true believer in this whole system they have set up.
So the leader, Hajime, is like, good morning, students. It's another great day of being like, the both of them are going to protect this town. Because the first day, though, like, we just started to go, sure, it would be a shame if anybody first years were going to fly off the handle and trying to beat each other up. It's just
Listen,
like,
I know you're going to beat each other up, but leave it off for today. We're just going to do, we're going to go on patrol. All right.
just wipe my fun bloodied nose real quick. You can't see this, but I was going to wipe it anyway.
And like, this is after their pretty cool and intense fight, but like, as soon as the announcement comes on and his voice comes on and he's like, is this thing on? How do I turn this fucking thing on? And but all the students are rapt and looking at the little voice box, and even the graffiti is like drawn like with clouds and arrows pointing. Is like, pay attention to what the boss is saying. He's like, wait, really? He commands that much respect with just a voice? Who is this guy? Is he like 8 foot tall? What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, we essentially, this is all setting up both the rival gang this episode, and then also the boy with the shark teeth, his stress coming from both ends.
Being a middle manager type situation.
Yes.
Yeah. He's one of the 4 kings, and that just means a lot of paperwork, a lot of fucking
it's
shit that he has to do.
He's fucking like, on a fast track to a fucking ulcer before he turns 18.
Dear, yeah. Because like, it's like, like, if you fucking step out of line, you know what that means. And he's like, what? And he looks like he's reaching for a fucking gun, and he's reaching for like some stomach pills. This means I gotta fucking, like, I'm gonna get so much fucking headaches out of this fucking situation, man. Just don't do it to me, okay? Wait, he's just talking to me like a person. It's like we're all the tough guy in this school. It's like, yes, everyone's a tough guy in this school.
Oh no, that granny's climbing up the world's shortest step ladder. I'm gonna go and help her.
Hey, granny, you old bag, you could break your hip. Watch out, all right?
Let me get the thing off the high shelf for you, you stupid old woman. It's just like, and it's like they're just being nice boys by seemingly like tough guy walking down the street and just helping people out and getting free takoyaki and that kind of shit. It's just like, this is lovely. This town is nice.
We're painting over the graffiti. We're like cleaning up this town, but not this side of not those side of the tracks. No,
literally the other side of the tracks.
On the other side of the tracks.
Good shit.
No, a middle school kid from our side. He's running his way here. Come on, guys, we can't intervene. It'll cause an international incident between the two sides of the tracks. We can't intervene. Come on, kid, come on, run, you can make it. And a bunch of kids with much more, in my opinion, cooler jackets are chasing them down. But both Sakura and both Big Boy here, they both fun. Just get stuck in, and everyone take it out to the point. And it's like, oh no, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? I've not got enough antacids in me fucking in the fucking whole chemist to get to go and cover this up. Oh my goodness.
Again, our geeky guys kind of thing. It was like, you should take those by the recommended dosage, sir. That kind of thing. It's just like.
This is the Shishi torrent. This is the kids from the other side, of threats, and they got a different, would say, way of going about things. They have their leader, who I guess one of their like heavy guys anyway. Like, it comes up afterwards, and it's just like so lackadaisical. It's just like, oh man, what are you dudes doing down here, getting into fights for? It's like, oh, this guy's infuriating, but it has this kind of current and menace. It's just like, he goes very, very slowly, but he feels like a slow but very, very inevitable train coming down faster at you. As this like subordinate who got punched out. He was finishing his ramen eliminate, and he just busts the whole bottle off his face.
And it's just like, yeah, you lost, which means here goes your jacket, and time to drag you home to beat the shit out of you. We'll see you fuckers later. I'll remember you, the guy with the fucking Othello head. Yeah, I'll remember you. Don't worry about it. And it's like, that's not that much of an insult. It's just like, you have black and white hair. It's like, oh, I'm coming for you. But at the meantime, we gotta kick one of our former fucking members' ass for losing. And again, the other 2 goons that were there were just like, I can't believe you lost to a kick. It's like, 2 guys flying kicked him in the face at the same time. It's like, yeah, that's going to take most people out instantly. But in this gang, it's the strongest is the best. And if you lose, you're instantly out of the fucking gang. So a lot harsher than the nice boys gang that we are our main characters.
Yes. How nice are we? Well, we're as nice as our leader is. We finally go see him. He's up here. He's Hajime. He's been growing tomatoes and is...
Again,
a more
tough
cheerful,
guy
childish demeanor than his
tough guy
second
being
in
on
command.
the roof of the school is just like, yeah, but he's got like He's got a bunch of plants that he's grown here, and he's aubergines are coming in real fucking well. That kind of thing. I'm just like,
Yeah, it's Yuichi Nakamura. He's got seems to have the lock on the very whimsical leader Minto type character with the white hair. It's just like he's cornering all of those roles.
Then we get the various response faces of our 4 first years and the kid they rescued.
Like fun Sakura's he's been wondering about this dude all the time. This dude is the strongest one. Like, what's going on with this now? Well, I saw down there in the tunnel with that fucking just getting stuck in with the lads. That's what I came into town. It's just trouble. It's good. I want trouble. But this seems to try to keep the peace, and maybe he understands that it's the fight for something. Yeah, it's one thing, but to fight to hold on to it and keep it in a certain way, that's even tougher than a fist fight.
And then to understand like a power structure and to give other jobs to your subordinates and to have a structure and to work together. Like, 'cause as he was told in the first episode, you can't be the strongest on your own. That's not possible.
Yes. And they point out to him this one is like, it's kind of boring if the only thing you can think of to be fun is a fight. Kind of got to expand your range of experiences here, Sakura.
So and again, it's the idea that this town is really fucking cool. The shopping street is really nice. Everyone's very friendly. They keep giving us free shit. It's great. We have something to protect. That's why fighting is good, because we have this good thing that we protect with fighting. Like, it's not just fighting for fighting's sake. That's stupid. You're being stupid.
They do point out that we used to be like you, Sakura. And people were nice to us, and we were nice back. And it turns out that's a lot nicer way of living your life.
Well, I think crucially, I'm curious as to how the other side of the tracks is run, because it's very easy to protecting it. We could probably make some kind of racket out protecting things, couldn't we? And it didn't be they aren't like no fun. Nice, take a shot you got here, old man. She was something would have happened to it, huh?
Yeah.
I do wonder whether there's going to be genuinely bad people, or whether they're all going to have like a prickly outside that you got to find the heart of gold in it within. Because what was I looking for on my Twitter? Like, I found the thing I noticed about comparing Mob Psycho to One Punch Man is in Mob Psycho, no matter how despicable you are on the surface,
you're still a person.
There's essentially a good person somewhere buried beneath all that. Whereas in One Punch Man, you've got loads of people pretending to be good people who are rotten inside.
Shits. Yeah.
Yes.
As well as you've man.
Yeah. And I guess that's the opposite of the titular One Punch Man, who seems awful on the outside, but is actually like pretty decent if lazy on the inside and outside. I guess lazy. Yeah.
Windbreaker. Less fighting this episode, but
what's coming? I can see this like more like one if you can't building like things like using his time better than Buchigiri did. It's just completely just like one blown out of the water. Like it's just
immediately.
Bucha what now?
Yeah.
Astro Note episode 3, which we get a fiance in a field trip.
I say fiance. Oh, you've been calling me that since we were 5 years old. Oh, I'm always going to marry you. No, he's not. Shoei Ginger, he's just a character.
He's your childhood friend. Your man's like, and again, the other people in the house are like, "Sorry, bud. Looks like you're out of the running immediately because we didn't know that guy existed until now."
Yeah, we get a lot of stuff with the dog. This episode, we get the reveal that the kid has figured out that he's just pretending to be a dog, because he says it when he's bemoaning his poverty-stricken fate, which is that he could just pretend to be a dog like you. And the dog's very concerned about the boy as well. He's horrible to the other people, but he does act probably like a better dad than the actual dad does to.
The poor young lad he's kind of subconscious goes, I thought it was from a letter from a big deal. No, he's just like, we're going on a school tour. Oh, that's good. Yeah, but I haven't got a packed lunch to bring with me.
I just get stuff from the convenience mart, and it's the idea that his dad does give him money to buy shit in the shop, but it's the idea that everyone else has a homemade thing, which shows that they give a fuck. Whereas his dad does nothing, seemingly. Not even make a packed
Well,
lunch.
by
for his
gum,
son.
if I can make purpose, I can just make you a box lunch as well, little fella. And just make goes to the whole thing. We go to the rice. We're gonna cut the sausages, make a look at octopuses, the whole shebang. And then immediately, like, you know, if we're ready for the school tour, let's go on to go. And immediately he's fucking just swiped and eaten. It's just, I felt really bad for the little dude just in that moment. He has to go, can I have some money to get some rice balls from the combini, please?
Like, again, there's a lot of jokes and everything, but like the emotional crux of it is a small child is disappointed in his shitty dad, so these other adults have to step in to be like decent humans and show that they give a fuck about him. It's like that.
Yes.
It's a weird emotional thing to hang your episode on, but it works. Like, yeah.
Also, the dog's trying to track down the ghost.
Gotta get who's stealing the fucking lunches. It's always getting blamed on me, the dog. It's bullshit.
Set up a camera here, and like sure enough, a Sonic like figure would appear at the end, and she's like swiping that that fun taped over fun plate. It's like, oh my goodness. But
because
never mind that.
It's definitely not aliens because they're aliens and they'd know if it was aliens. But so this is obviously a ghost, clearly.
Yes.
Like, no,
if you look at the website, I'm pretty sure I know who it is because there's only one other character yet to be introduced.
Well, yeah, she's she in the fucking credits. Like it's just like, you know,
Yes.
well, from certain angles and in poor lighting, she may resemble definitely a ghost. We gotta get a little raise at this lunch. You know, come hell or high water, we're going up and shoot us out to me. We've gone out to the island there, on just like between Tokyo and Yokohama. We're going up, shoot out there, and showing his pretty flashed car with a lot of mod cons. Like I heard, he's from like England and he works in like, you know, renewable energy and you know, he comes from money. He comes from class. Like he's got this car with like, you know, it's got quite a GPS and a hover function. Wow.
The series of stupidity that they come upon his thing, where she's just reading out the letters on your one's can of beer. UK. Oh, he's English. Okay, all right.
It's the fact also that he has to have it explained to him that we're pretending to be humans here, because he was quite willing just to come straight out and say, "Oh yeah, I'm an alien. We're an alien."
Yeah. And even then when they're doing the trying to get the lunch to the kid, and they have to increase speed because they were attacked by a pelican partway through. And you ran got in a fist fight with a bird and lost, but he did stand up for the kid's lunch, which is important because the pelican thinks it's a secret. Basically,
I love how I'm gonna fight this thing, and it's like, you know, well, naturally, like, you know, the wings are going to become the fingers of the fists. It's just going to punch him with those. Like, it's a robot bird. It transforms to different stuff. It's like, yeah, that's obviously we go for that. It's even more impressively, like Mira's, it's like her handbag turns into a fucking like hyper beam cannon from fucking Gundam. So it's like, whoa, shit, hyper bazooka.
Yeah, the cannon of the car definitely felt like they were left over from the version of this, which was a robot.
Mecha thing, yeah.
We couldn't quite decide which sci-fi angle we're going to work here, but we got it in somehow.
Because when he insists on sitting in the front seat, so your one's not sitting next to him, he doesn't look like a fucking third wheel. Like he's like, oh, let me look up the directions on your phone. He's like, computer, take me to the island, and it's like, absolutely, sir. It's like, wait, you got a self-driving robot car that can fly? Oh man, I look like a real scuzz at the moment. And
don't sell yourself short, man. You did to get it again. The tide for first most opulent like egg on rice I'm seeing in cartoon this week, and it's like, well, oh, here's what I do, and you get the little, you just kind of jostle it, a little that goodness just spill out, and you just look it up. I was eating that actually. I happen to have made that just that afternoon. Just
good stuff.
Vicariously, ha! I'm just gonna live it.
Yeah. Well served this week for egg on rice and things, because it was in Roboco as well.
It was, yeah. This is something that's a chapter I got. Like, I that's for one thing. When they get into a little like, you know, oh, this is the best way to do X. It's like, oh, actually, I got opinions on this. I have, you know, actually. It's come around finally.
I do wish the ending theme had subtitles, because it is the two leads singing to each other.
Yeah, I know, same. Because it feels like an old karaoke fucking song, the way the pictures are coming in. And I was like,
Polaroids, and I have like the fun Saved by the Bell fucking background.
I've forgotten the name of that style with the triangles and wiggly lines and stuff. The 80s, 90s style. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a name for it, but yes, I did. I am of the age where that was a style I sought out, and not in those colours, but I definitely did have wallpaper along those lines in my bedroom as a kid. It was more sort of silver, black, and red, but it was very busy like that.
Mm-mm.
Can you even buy that sort of wallpaper today?
I feel like you
it's.
can.
I imagine it's by this stage everything else that's come back around, so it's only a matter of time.
Yes.
But then, who can afford wallpaper to decorate their things? Who will be into that because they can't afford houses that they can decorate without their landlord saying they can or not. So once more, it's got to wait another 30 years if that comes back around again. Maybe at that stage there'll be somewhere
But
they
there's
can
going to
put
be
it
so
up.
hot, Niall, that they'll just peel off the wall.
Ah,
instantly.
no, there was time now.
Yeah, that was Astro Note. It's a lot of fun. It's exactly the sort of show that it promised to be. I love how Takumi sees everything as if he is in a rom-com anime, and there are all these obstacles are what that he sees that aren't really there are the obstacles from a rom-com anime.
Like,
his experience is very different. Like when he sees a seagull when they deliver the lunch, and he's like, "Watch out, children! That seagull will steal your lunch!" And everyone's like, "Ha, weird old man," because he's trying. I mean, like to them he's old, but like he's trying, and that his reaction to things is normal. I mean, like I guess he didn't see the fucking rocket launcher your one pulled out of the back of the car because he was too busy getting airsick from the flying car.
Thank goodness.
He's trying to react to the situation properly, but he's failing because how the fuck can you? You think you're in a rom-com.
Yeah, it's a very retro revival. And they say, retro revival of what? It's like, well, a lot of things actually. So it's just a retro revival, but it's all in there.
Yeah, I mean that's the genius of it. Is it's more than one thing that it's reviving.
Yes.
The framework is based on Daikoku, but it's added a whole lot of other stuff into that soup. And that's it for this week. That's all I watched. Please don't have watched any more.
That's plenty.
I looked it up. It's Memphis group style. It's Italian. Would you believe?
Is that right?
Because it was going to bug me if I didn't find it. Yeah.
Fact of the week, kids.
What is Memphis design style, and why is it back?
Oh, it is back. Fantastic. Okay, good.
There's money to be made off of mining your memories.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm going to have to reduce it. That was too much this week for me.
Yeah, that's the end of the show. Bye for now.
Bye.
End of you.
Yes, I decided once I hit 6, that's where I was stopping.